So in this video, we will be jumping into a little bit of a story time where we'll be talking about why my child's teacher called CPS on me. Okay guys, so in this video, we are going to discuss the events that led up to the CPS call, my emotional reaction, and how I handled the situation, the importance of communication and understanding, and maybe just some tips and advice for parents that may be experiencing the same thing. Let's jump into this video. Well, hey guys. So join me as we jump into this crazy story of why my child's teacher called CPS on me. I currently live in the state of Georgia, and in Georgia, it is called DFACS. It's still kind of hard for me to believe that this ever even happened, but it did. It most certainly did, and I want to get into the why. This is a hard video for me to make, and probably is one of the hardest videos that I have ever made. Truthfully, I did not want to share this story. It's been on my mind for a while. I have been thinking about it and, kind of fighting myself over it and being disobedient, I believe, because something just kept telling me, Crystal, record the story, record the story, record the story. And I'm fighting against myself saying, no, this is not something I want to share on my channel. This is nobody's business. I feel the need to have to share it. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys. So let's get into the backstory. So a few months ago, Bailey started complaining of a toothache. And if you are one of my loyal viewers watching my vlogs, then I'm sure you probably remember this time. Yeah, you probably remember this time in our life. So Bailey was complaining of a toothache. I got a phone call at work saying he had a toothache. They wanted me to bring him some kind of medication for his teeth, which I did. I left on my lunch break, went to his school, took him some medication. He was fine. I tried to get in touch with the dentist. We live in Georgia, and things are different in Georgia. So we have Medicaid. And the way they do it is he's assigned a dentist through his medical insurance. It's different from how we did things up in Michigan. So I have been trying to contact this dentist office. Really wasn't having any success. I am a single mother. I work full time during the day. So trying to catch this dentist was a really tricky situation. I woke up one morning. I woke up one morning on Saturday, and I was having a good morning. It was my off day. I wanted to have a kind of a quiet and slow morning. All of the kids were asleep. So I made me a cup of coffee. I went in the living room and I just started, enjoying my coffee, giving, a little plant care, clipping the leaves on the plants and, pruning and doing those things. And I was really just enjoying my quiet morning. I was planning on waking the kids up and taking them in town because they were having a agricultural day and they were going to have a free petting farm. So we were kind of excited about what we were going to do that day. As I went to my bedroom to get myself dressed, because I wanted to get dressed first before I woke the kids up, my phone rings. And usually I don't answer phone numbers that I don't know. But I said, okay, let me go ahead and answer it. It was around 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. So I figured it must have been something important. So I answered the phone. And when I do, the lady on the other end, she said, hi, my name is, I forgot her name, Mrs. So-and-so. I am calling you from DFAX. And I said, DFAX? Why are you calling me? And she said, well, we got an emergency phone call last night regarding Bailey. And I said, regarding Bailey, like, what's going on? And she went on to tell me, she said, the phone call had came from his school. And they said that she told me what all of the, what the complaint was, which is he had been having a toothache and that I refused to get him dental care. So she wanted to come to the house because she needed to start her investigation, and she didn't have our address. So I got so upset, but I told her, I said, you know what, just come on. I felt like there was nothing to hide. There was, no reason for me to be resistant because of the fact that I knew that it was a bullshit, basically, claim. And I told her, just come on. I said, just come on. So she comes out to the house. She comes in. She's looking around, just kind of scoping the scene. She sits me and Bailey down for an interview. And we talked and we discussed, that we had moved here from another state, what the situation was. She interviewed Bailey, took pictures of him, took pictures of the inside of his mouth. She had to go through my house, take pictures of all of the kids' bedrooms, take pictures of our kitchen, take pictures of the inside of the refrigerator. She had to check to make sure that we had running water, electricity, all of the things. I could tell that she felt really bad about coming. She did kind of, tell me more than once, like, I'm really sorry that you have to go through this. I'm really sorry. She said, when we get an emergency call, we have to come out. And I told her I understood. I understood. I was upset. I was very upset. I was crying. I told her I did understand that she had a job to do. So I wasn't mad at her in any way, but at the same time, I was very, very pissed off at the teacher that made the call. After she left, I waited to, that Monday, and I contacted the school and I let the principal know what had happened. The principal apologized, but I didn't really like her response. I felt like I wasn't being heard as a parent. So the only thing the principal told me was, well, the good thing is, they'll investigate, they'll see that there's nothing, and they'll close out the case, which I told her, that's fine. I look forward to the case being closed out, but at the same time, this never should have happened in the first place. And she agreed, but her attitude was, well, there's nothing I could do about it. And I thought about it and I said, well, there's something I could do about it. So I called the school district and I spoke with someone. I do feel like I was heard and understood by the lady at the district that I spoke with. I was very impressed with the conversation that I had with her. She, like me, was an African-American single mother that understood what it's like to have to work and balance work and family. So she got right on it. She contacted the school, spoke with whomever she needed to speak with at the school, and that happened at the end of the school year. So the good thing is, when this school year started, the 2024-2025 school year, they had addressed the situation. They had trained their staff on when is it appropriate and when is it not appropriate to make those type of calls. They explained to them what could happen to a family when you make that type of phone call. So needless to say, our case was closed out. There was nothing to find. Bailey he has had dental care, and the teacher that had made the call, she was young. She was young, married, only had like small children. So her circumstances were different and she didn't understand. And she was new to teaching, and she came in with the attitude of she was going to swoop in and save all these disadvantaged African-American children, and not knowing that they didn't need saving. They were in no need of being saved. So, I just say that to say, things like this happen. I feel better now talking about it, but I definitely didn't want to talk about this, and I didn't want to share it, but now I feel much better, and I'm glad that I did. At the time when this happened, I was pissed off. I was in fight mode. I had to really calm myself, and I had to pray about it. I did go ahead, take the kids to the petting farm, just because they deserved it. Just because I was upset and I was hurt that day didn't mean that I had to ruin their day. Their day was already ruined enough. All of my children were sad. They were worried. I am raising them alone. My ex-husband is deceased. So they were so concerned that they could be taken away from the only parent that they had. And even though I knew that wasn't going to be the outcome, they didn't know that. They didn't understand that. And it really, really, really traumatized them, especially Bailey. He was so very traumatized behind that incident, and it took weeks for him to get back to his normal, joyful, playful self. I was relieved when I got the call saying that they were getting ready to close out the case. And I actually got that phone call when we were on our way to Myrtle Beach. We were on the road heading to Myrtle Beach when my phone rang, and it was the caseworker from DFACS, and she said she was ready to close out my case, but she had a few loose ends to tie up, which was she needed to interview 2 people. So I gave her my sister and my cousin's phone number. She interviewed them. They answered whatever questions she needed answered. And I think I had to sign a medical release of information or something like that. And that was it. So my reason, though, for wanting to do this video is because I'm sure that there are other people that are going through the same thing, or have gone through this. And I just want to let people know, you're not alone. And someone calling defects doesn't make you a bad parent or a bad person. I understand that their concern is the safety of the children. which is what we all want. We all want the children to be safe. So I would love to know, if you've ever had like a similar experience, if someone has caused CPS or defects, on you. I would love to hear your stories. In my case, this was all kind of like a misunderstanding and a miscommunication between the school and myself. But it's something that never should have happened in the first place. The reason for me doing my channel was to kind of share the realities of parenting, and most importantly, the realities of single parenting. And in this case, this is my reality. This is something that happened to me. I'm sure, this is something that happens to a lot of single parents. But the impact that having defects caused on me was Bailey started having behavioral issues afterward. He started having nightmares. He couldn't sleep for weeks. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't sleep alone. He became very clingy and always worried that he was going to be taken away. He started blaming himself and believing that, the reason for them coming out was because he had a toothache. And if he had never had a toothache, then they wouldn't be trying to take him away from me, which I had to explain to him that, for one, no one is going to take him away. And, none of this was his fault. The other children were just kind of worried and scared, because that's the reality of it. I am all that they have, and they are all that I have. And just the thought that someone could make an accusation and your family could possibly be broken up because of it. It's a very, very scary, it's a very scary thing. Just the realities of parenting in this very judgmental world that we live in now. And truthfully, that's why I was so afraid to make this video, which is the judgment. We live in a very judgmental world. We live in a world of cancel culture. And I'm just getting started, and last thing I want is to be canceled. So that there is my story of how and why my child's teacher called CPS on me. So my reason for sharing this story, hopefully that it would be help to someone else. And also I recorded this out of obedience. I wanted to be obedient and follow instruction, and the instruction was to share this story. So that is what I did. I hope that this video finds you well. And thank you so much for watching.